In a world of shadows loom and hearts grow weary, where pain is deep and souls are dreary, there's a melody, a song of hope, a whispered promise, a way to cope in every corner where darkness remains. In a heart where love remains, there's a yearning.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something absolutely fundamental to, well, basically everything we do: sleep.
It really is foundational, isn't it?
Totally. We're not just talking about, closing your eyes for 8 hours. We want to explore how to unlock truly restorative rest. And our guide for this journey is Sleep Fix: Proven Methods for a Better Night's Rest by Dr. Xu Chen Hao and Kokoshung San Ltd.
It's a really comprehensive guide, packed with evidence-based practices.
Exactly. So our mission today is to distill the most impactful, actionable insights from Sleep Fix. We want to give you a shortcut to understanding not just why sleep matters so much, but critically, how you can actually transform your own rest quickly and effectively.
Think of it as a blueprint for better sleep.
Perfect way to put it. A blueprint for better nights and hopefully much brighter days. So let's start at the very beginning. We often think of sleep as just switching off, right? Like flicking a switch.
Yeah, that's the common idea.
But Sleep Fix makes it clear pretty quickly that it's anything but passive.
Yeah.
So what's actually happening when we, fall asleep?
That's a great question because it's way more complex than just shutting down. Sleep is this highly intricate biological state. It's absolutely vital for our overall health. It's when our body and brain are actually incredibly active. They're doing all this essential restoration and rejuvenation work.
Active. Okay, tell me more.
Well, the book breaks it down into two main types: non-rapid eye movement, or NREM, and rapid eye movement, REM sleep.
NREM and REM. Got it.
Right. NREM has 3 stages. N1 and N2 are lighter sleep, and then N3 is what we call deep sleep, or slow wave sleep. These NREM stages are like your body's critical repair shop. You're crucial for physical restoration, consolidating memories from the day, and even processing emotions.
So that's where the physical repair happens.
Largely, yes. And then you have REM sleep. This is where your brain activity ramps up again. It's associated with vivid dreams. REM is vital for learning, for further memory consolidation, maybe different types of memory, and really important for emotional regulation.
Wow. Okay, so different stages have really different jobs.
Exactly. And all this incredible choreography, this dance between stages, is guided by our internal master clock. That's the circadian rhythm.
Ah, it's the body clock.
Precisely. It's roughly a 24-hour cycle, and it's mainly regulated by a tiny part of your brain called the hypothalamus. It basically responds to light and darkness cues from the environment.
Which is why light is so important, or lack of it.
Absolutely. But here's the tricky part in modern life, right? Things like shift work, jet lag, even just too much screen time late at night.
Yeah.
They can completely throw that delicate rhythm off balance.
Yeah, I think we all feel that sometimes.
And the book really stresses how important it is to try and align our lives with this natural clock as much as possible. And powering all this, it's a complex mix of chemicals. Melatonin is the famous one, the sleep hormone. It's produced when it gets dark, signaling time for sleep.
Okay.
Then you've got calming neurotransmitters like GABA, which quietens things down in the brain, and adenosine, which actually builds up while you're awake, creating that sleep pressure.
Ah, so that's why you get sleepier the longer you're awake.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you have stress hormones like cortisol. If those are high when you're trying to sleep, they can completely disrupt the whole process, keep you wired.
Right, the old tired but wired feeling.
Exactly that.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So it's definitely not an off switch. It's like a whole intricate background operating system. You mentioned cycles earlier. It's not just one long block of sleep then. I've heard people talk about trying to wake up at the right time in a cycle.
Yes, and this is a really practical takeaway from Sleep Fix. Sleep isn't just linear. It happens in cycles, typically lasting around 90 minutes each. Throughout the night, you'll cycle through the NREM stages and into REM, then repeat that maybe 4 to 6 times.
90-minute cycles. Interesting.
And what Dr. Howe highlights is the benefit of aiming to wake up at the end of one of these cycles, when you're in a lighter stage of sleep, like N1, N2, or even REM sometimes.
Rather than being jolted awake from deep sleep.
Precisely. Waking from deep N3 sleep is often what causes that awful, groggy, confused feeling. That's called sleep inertia. By trying to time your alarm, maybe using a sleep calculator or just being mindful of 90-minute blocks, you might wake up feeling significantly more refreshed and alert. It's subtle, but it can make a real difference.
That sounds like a potential game changer for morning grogginess.
It really can be for some people.
But, sometimes the problem goes beyond just optimizing cycles or tweaking habits. The book also talks about common sleep disorders. Are these more widespread than we might think?
They definitely are, and it's so important to recognize the signs. Sleep Fix outlines several key ones. Insomnia is probably the most well-known. But it's more than just one bad night. It's a persistent difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up way too early. And it leads to real daytime issues, fatigue, irritability, trouble concentrating.
Right. Chronic stuff.
Exactly. Then there's sleep apnea. This involves repeated pauses in breathing during sleep. Obstructive sleep apnea is the most common type. Symptoms often include loud snoring, sometimes gasping or choking sounds, and feeling really sleepy during the day, even after what seems like a full night's sleep. It can be serious.
Yeah, that sounds concerning.
Then you have restless leg syndrome, RLS. That's this really uncomfortable, often hard to describe urge to move your legs, usually worse in the evening or at night when you're trying to rest.
Oh, I've heard of that. Sounds incredibly frustrating.
It is. And finally, narcolepsy. It's less common, but it's a neurological disorder causing excessive daytime sleepiness, sometimes sudden sleep attacks, and occasionally cataplexy that's a sudden loss of muscle tone, often triggered by strong emotions.
Wow.
Yeah. So Dr. Howell makes a clear point in the book. If you're experiencing symptoms like these consistently, say, 3 nights a week or more for maybe 3 months, or if it's really impacting your daily life, it's definitely time to talk to a doctor or a sleep specialist.
Okay, that's really helpful context.
Yeah.
So we understand the what a bit better now. Let's pivot to the how. Sleep Fix gives some really clear, practical advice on improving sleep, starting with our environment. For someone maybe living in a noisy city apartment, how does the book suggest turning your bedroom into, like, a proper sleep sanctuary?
Yeah, the environment is huge. It's about creating a space that signals rest to your brain, even in a small or noisy place. Dr. Howe suggests starting with decluttering visual clutter can be mentally stimulating. Using calming colors helps too. Soft blues, greens, neutrals. Soft lighting in the evening is key.
Makes sense.
But one factor that's really crucial and often overlooked is temperature. The book recommends keeping your bedroom quite cool, ideally between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow, that cool. 15 to 19 Celsius for those listening elsewhere.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but a slight drop in core body temperature is actually a natural signal for sleep onset. A cool room facilitates that.
Okay, that's a really actionable tip. Cool, dark, quiet.
Exactly. And speaking of dark and quiet, light is a major one. We hear a lot about blue light from screens, right?
The enemy of sleep.
Pretty much. Dr. Howe explains how its high-energy wavelengths directly suppress melatonin production, basically telling your brain it's still daytime. So the advice is firm. Limit screen time for at least an hour before bed. No phones, tablets, laptops in the bedroom if possible.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know, but it makes a difference. Use soft, warm lighting in the evening instead. And blackout curtains are a great investment to block out street lights or early morning sun.
And noise. What about that noisy apartment?
For noise, yeah, soundproofing can help. Heavy curtains, sealing gaps around windows or doors, but sometimes it's about masking. The book suggests things like white noise machines or apps with calming soundscapes, rain, ocean waves, that kind of thing. They create a consistent, soothing background sound that can drown out sudden disruptive noises. Earplugs are an option too, of course. Dr. Hugh has a great quote in the book. From rest comes resilience. Creating this restful environment really builds your foundation for handling everything else.
I like that. From rest comes resilience. Okay, so we've optimized the space, but beyond the room itself, the guide really emphasizes routine and consistency. For someone whose schedule feels chaotic, maybe shift work or just busy family life, what's the absolute key takeaway about rhythm?
The book is really strong on this. Consistency is paramount. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every single day.
Every day, including weekends.
Especially weekends. I know, it's tough. But sticking to that schedule powerfully reinforces your body's natural circadian rhythm. It trains your body and brain to anticipate sleep and wakefulness. It makes falling asleep easier and waking up feel more natural over time. It's probably the single most impactful habit you can build.
Wow, okay. That's a challenge, but I see the logics.
And Dr. Howe captures it perfectly. Good nights lead to great days. That consistency really sets the stage.
And what about winding down? The pre-sleep ritual.
Yeah, that's the other key piece of the routine. Having a consistent wind-down routine signals to your body, okay, we're shifting gears now, preparing for sleep. This could be anything calming.
Yeah.
Reading a physical book, not a screen. Taking a warm bath. Gentle stretching, listening to relaxing music, meditation.
So consciously shifting away from stimulating activity.
Exactly. And again, that means turning off electronic devices at least an hour before bed is pretty much non-negotiable, according to the book.
What about snacks? I sometimes get hungry late at night.
A light sleep-promoting snack can actually be helpful for some people. Think things like a small bowl of yogurt, a banana, a few almonds or walnuts. They contain things like tryptophan or magnesium. Key is keeping it light and avoiding sugary or heavy foods close to bedtime, which can disrupt sleep. Timing matters too, not right before lying down.
Right. The goal, as Dr. Howe puts it, I think there was another quote.
Yes, sleep deep, think deeper. It connects that consistent routine and wind down to better cognitive function the next day. It all links together.
It really does seem incredibly interconnected. Okay, let's talk about diet and exercise more broadly. How do what we eat and how much we move impact our sleep?
Massively. Nutrition plays a huge role. Sleep Fix highlights foods that can actually help promote sleep. We mentioned melatonin foods like tart cherries, bananas, grapes contain it naturally or precursors. Magnesium is great for relaxation. Think spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds.
Leafy greens and nuts, okay.
Yep. And tryptophan, which the body uses to make serotonin and then melatonin, that's found in things like turkey, chicken, dairy products like milk or yogurt. Having a balanced dinner, maybe with some complex carbs, can help stabilize blood sugar through the night too.
And what should we definitely avoid, especially in your bedtime?
Well, the obvious ones are stimulants. Caffeine can stay in your system for like 6 hours or even longer for some people, so definitely avoid it in the afternoon and evening. Nicotine is another stimulant.
Right.
Heavy, spicy, or very fatty meals close to bed can cause indigestion or heartburn, which obviously disrupts sleep. And alcohol. This is a common misconception.
Ah, yes, the nightcap myth.
Exactly. It might make you feel drowsy initially, help you fall asleep faster perhaps, but it severely fragments sleep later in the night. It reduces REM sleep and leads to more awakenings, so definitely not a good sleep aid.
Good to know. What about hydration?
Staying hydrated throughout the day is important for overall health, including sleep. But you want to taper off your fluid intake in the evening, maybe an hour or two before bed. This is just to minimize the chances of needing to get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Stick to water or maybe a calming herbal tea like chamomile earlier in the evening.
Okay. Dr. Howe has a quote for this too, right? Something about wellness.
Yeah. Snooze, rest, repeat. Your wellness depends on it. It really ties diet and hydration into that overall cycle of well-being.
Makes sense. Now, you mentioned screens before, but let's dive a bit deeper into technology. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Scrolling before bed is like the default for so many. Does Dr. Howe offer insights beyond just the blue light issue?
Yes, definitely. Beyond the direct melatonin suppression from blue light, the engagement factor is huge. Scrolling through social media, reading stressful news, playing mentally stimulating games, all these things keep your brain highly active, alert, maybe even anxious or agitated.
So it's the content and the interaction, not just the light itself.
Exactly. It makes it incredibly difficult for your brain to switch off and transition into a restful state. That's why the recommendation is really to disconnect from all screens, ideally an hour or more before bed.
And if you absolutely have to use a screen.
Well, the book suggests using blue light filters or built-in night modes on your devices can help mitigate the light issue somewhat, but it doesn't address the mental stimulation problem. So it's a partial fix at best. Engaging in relaxing, non-screen activities is far better.
What about sleep tracking apps and gadgets? Are they helpful?
Sleep Fix takes a balanced view here. They can be useful tools, certainly. Tracking your sleep patterns can give you insights into your habits, your consistency, maybe how long it takes you to fall asleep. Some offer guided meditations or smart alarms.
So potentially useful data.
Potentially, yes. But Dr. Howe cautions against becoming overly reliant on them or stressed out by the numbers. They should be seen as tools to complement good sleep hygiene, not replace it. They can help you understand, but they won't magically fix underlying issues if you're not addressing your environment, routines, stress levels, etc.
Right, they're not the whole solution, just a piece of the puzzle, maybe?
Exactly. It's about using them wisely as part of a holistic approach. Dr. Howe says, sleep deep, think deeper. The tech should support that, not hinder it.
That's a great distinction.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, let's connect mental well-being and physical activity. How do things like stress, anxiety, and our daily movement tie into getting a good night's sleep?
They're absolutely critical and completely intertwined. Sleep Fix really emphasizes managing stress and anxiety as foundational for good sleep. When you're stressed or anxious, your body releases cortisol, that alertness hormone we mentioned. That's the opposite of what you need for sleep. So, incorporating relaxation techniques into your routine is key. Things like deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation where you tense and release different muscle groups, mindfulness meditation, even visualization.
Like picturing a peaceful scene?
Exactly. Or gentle yoga and stretching. These aren't just nice to haves. They actively help lower those stress hormones and calm your nervous system, signaling that it's safe to rest. As Dr. Howe puts it, rest well, grow wise. A calm mind is essential for both restorative sleep and clear thinking.
And exercise, how does that fit in?
Exercise is generally fantastic for sleep, but the timing is really important. Moderate to vigorous activity, especially earlier in the day, morning or afternoon, is best. Exercise raises your body temperature, and the subsequent cool-down period later can actually help promote sleepiness. Plus, it boosts mood and reduces stress.
But not too close to bedtime.
Right. Vigorous exercise within, say, 2 or 3 hours of bed can be counterproductive for some people. It can raise your heart rate, adrenaline, and body temperature right when they should be winding down.
What about gentle exercise in the evening?
Oh, yeah. Gentle activities like light stretching or yoga are perfectly fine in the evening. They can help release physical tension without being overly stimulating. It's about finding what works for your body. Dr. Howe connects this nicely with the quote, "Recharge your body, renew your spirit," highlighting that link between physical activity during the day and mental physical restoration at night.
That's a really comprehensive look at all the proactive steps we can take. Fantastic advice. But what if someone tries all this, the cool room, the routine, managing stress, and they're still struggling? The book talks about when to seek professional help. What are those key signs or thresholds?
This is a really important part of the book. Dr. Howe provides clear guidelines. You should seriously consider seeking professional help if your sleep problems are persistent. That generally means having trouble sleeping at least 3 nights a week for 3 months or longer. That's often the clinical threshold for chronic insomnia, for instance.
Okay, consistency and duration.
Yes. Another major red flag is if the sleep issues are significantly impacting your daily life, your ability to work, your mood, your relationships, your concentration, your overall health. If it's causing real distress or impairment.
Makes sense. If it's really affecting your daytime.
Absolutely. And of course, if you have specific concerning symptoms that might point to a more serious underlying disorder, like the loud, persistent snoring with pauses and breathing for sleep apnea, or that irresistible urge to move your legs for RLS, or excessive daytime sleepiness despite adequate time in bed for narcolepsy or apnea.
Don't just ignore those symptoms.
Definitely not. Dr. Howe reminds us sleep, where dreams begin and energy rises. If that energy isn't rising, if those dreams are constantly disrupted, it's a signal to get it checked out.
And who do you see? What kind of specialists or treatments are there?
There are several types of specialists. Pulmonologists often diagnose and treat sleep apnea. Psychiatrists or psychologists are experts in treating insomnia, often using cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia or CBTI.
CBTI.
What's that? It's considered the gold standard treatment for chronic insomnia. It's a structured program, usually over several weeks, that helps you identify and change the thoughts and behaviors that are interfering with your sleep. It's highly effective, often more so than medication long-term.
That sounds really promising. Non-drug approaches.
Very much so. Neurologists might get involved for conditions like RLS or narcolepsy. And there are also board-certified sleep medicine physicians who have broad expertise across all sleep disorders. Your primary care doctor is often a good starting point to get a referral. The key message from Sleep Fix is that effective treatments are available. You don't have to just live with poor sleep.
That's incredibly empowering to know. Help is out there. So, finally, looking at the bigger picture, improving sleep isn't usually an overnight fix, right? It's more of a long-term commitment. What does Dr. Howe emphasize about maintaining good sleep health over time?
Absolutely. It's a journey, not a destination. Patience and adaptation are key. Sleep Fix really stresses the importance of consistently practicing those healthy sleep habits we've discussed, the routine, the environment, managing stress. Tracking your progress can be really helpful too. Whether it's a simple sleep diary noting bedtimes, wake times, quality, or using an app, it helps you identify patterns, see what's working, what's not, and spot potential triggers.
So staying mindful and observant.
Exactly. And being willing to adjust your approach. Life changes, stress levels fluctuate, schedules shift, health conditions arise. Your sleep strategies might need to evolve, too. It requires ongoing attention and tweaking.
It's not static.
Not at all. Dr. Housey's insight, "Your best day begins the night before," really speaks to this continuous commitment. It's about proactively prioritizing sleep every day, understanding that it fuels everything else.
And the final quote you mentioned.
Embrace sleep. Empower your life. It captures that idea perfectly, that making sleep an ongoing priority is truly empowering.
Wow. We have covered so much ground today, really taking a deep dive into Sleep Fix, proven methods for a better night's rest. From the fundamental science of NREM and REM, circadian rhythms, all the way to crafting that sleep sanctuary, nailing the routine, diet, exercise, managing tech, and knowing when to seek help.
It's a really comprehensive framework.
It truly is. And it makes it abundantly clear that prioritizing sleep isn't some kind of luxury, is it? It feels non-negotiable.
Absolutely non-negotiable for living your healthiest, most productive, most resilient life. The insights from the guide really hammer home that knowledge is power here. Making informed choices, being consistent with these evidence-based practices, it really can lead to profound, lasting changes in your sleep and your waking life.
As Dr. Howe puts it, sleep, the secret to living your best life.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, if you're listening and feeling inspired to explore more, not just about sleep, but about other areas of personal growth, knowledge, well-being, we highly recommend checking out cocoshengsan.net.
Yes, cocoshengsan.net is where you can find Sleep Fix and a whole lot more. Coco Shengsan Ltd., founded by Dr. Shu-Chen Hao, is really driven by a passion for empowering through education. They offer a wide range of resources, ebooks, audiobooks, online courses, podcasts, even specialized English learning materials for kids.
That's great.
And their mission goes beyond just providing tools. They're focused on creating social impact, promoting education accessibility, advocating for equity, supporting sustainable development. It's quite inspiring.
Definitely sounds worth exploring. So consider this your invitation to check out cocoshengsan.net and continue your own journey of learning and improvement. And maybe we can leave you with this final thought to mull over. When was the last time you truly paused and reflected on the quality of your own sleep?
A really important question.
And based on everything we've discussed today, what's maybe one small specific step, just one thing that you'll commit to taking tonight or this week to start reclaiming that vital rest for yourself?
Because, as Dr. Howe reminds us all, wake refreshed, live inspired.
In a world of shadows loom and hearts grow weary, where pain is deep and souls are dreary, there's a melody, a song of hope, a whispered promise, a way to cope in every corner where darkness remains. In a heart where love remains, there's a yearning, a silent plea for a world where all can truly be free. So let's mend the broken, live unfurled. Together we can heal the world. With hands entwined we'll rise above. Spread compassion, spread peace and love. The echo of laughter in the tear-stained eyes, in the silent prayers that reach the skies. There's symphony, there's a symphony, a harmonious call, uniting hearts, breaking down walls. With every sunrise, with every dawn, a chance to mend, a chance to spawn a world calm. In a world where shadows loom and hearts grow weary, where pain is deep and souls are dreary, there's a melody, a song of hope, a whispered promise, a way to cope in every corner where darkness reigns, in every heart where love remains. There's a yearning, a silent plea make. So let's mend the broken, let love unfurl. Together we can heal the world. With hands entwined we'll rise above. Spread compassion, spread peace and love. Join hands, let's stand tall. For in unity we'll never fall. With every act of kindness and the echo of laughter. In the echo laughter. In the tear-stained eyes, in the silent prayers that reach the skies, there's a symphony, a harmonious call, uniting hearts, breaking down walls. With every sunrise, with every dawn shine, a chance to mend, a chance to spawn a world of kindness, where every soul finds its rest.